Happy Pride! As you can see, I'm dressed up like a little girl that perhaps maybe in Little House on the Prairie, the house that is small in the biome that is the prairie, because we're talking about Stardew Valley today. I've been sort of hyperfixating on Stardew Valley recently. This hyperfixation is solely Fiona Sangster's fault because I have been watched all of her YouTube videos and now I have to go and play. She is so smart and brilliant and her videos are really well done, so please go check them out. Today's kind of like psychoanalyzing your Stardew Valley romances. I'm truly just raw dogging this video, so I don't even know what the title is going to be. Let's just get started, shall we? I have them separated by bachelors and bachelorettes because gender is real. So first up, we have Alex, who, fun fact, was originally named Josh. Dev update number 12 was when Concerned Ape kind of revealed all the marriage candidates. And this is what he wrote. He said, Josh loves sports, because he was Josh at this point, and hanging out at the beach. He's quite arrogant and brags to everyone that he's going to be a professional athlete. Is his cockiness just a facade to mask his crushing self-doubt? Is he using his sports dream to fill the void left by the disappearance of his parents? Or is he just a brazen youth trying to look cool? Alex bores me because I have never personally played through an Alex romance because I find him boring and uninteresting. However, I know now through my research and Fiona's videos that he is so much more than that, and that he has a difficult relationship with his father, who's no longer present in his life, and his mom has unfortunately passed away, and that's why he lives with his grandparents, Evelyn and George. He is trying to live up to this idea of what he dreams himself to be, which is this professional gridball player, in order to essentially prove his dad wrong, because his dad never believed in him. He was quite emotionally and verbally abusive to Alex, which is crazy lore. This is just a fun casual farming sim, but here we are, first person to talk about, and there's already estranged and dead parents involved. If you play through Alex's romance, you get to learn a little bit more beneath what is this very hot stereotypical jock surface. He is objectively attractive. He canonically has abs. All he does is really work out or throw his grid ball around, which is like football or not, I don't know, sports ball. And so in my opinion, what makes Alex more interesting is if you play as a male character and you romance Alex, because there is actually some trigger warning homophobia. George is a little homophobic. You know, I guess it could be implied or understood that Alex's dad was also maybe homophobic, and that's why Alex won't truly accept himself. But I think the dialogue options that come up when you play as a male character round out Alex's character more and makes his story much more, I don't want to say rewarding, but makes it more impactful to the player, as well as people of the LGBTQIA plus community. Happy Pride, gays. Hi, gay. Yeah, but I think if you are romancing Alex, there's a couple of options here. One, you like pretty things, right? Because when you meet Alex, all he kind of talks about is gridball and how he likes to work out. Maybe you just like things that are pretty, and that's fine. Maybe there's nothing to you personally. Maybe you just aren't interesting and you like things that are also not interesting. Maybe, if we're being kind to each other here. I think that if you like Alex, you probably like So High School by Taylor Swift. That's mean. I think that's one of her worst songs. I know that's the point of the song, is that it's supposed to be so, you know, like so high school. Touch me while your boys play Grand Theft Auto, but Taylor, love yourself. You personally, Taylor Swift, don't have to settle for that. I'm getting off track here. If you like Alex and you're a woman, maybe you were pretty unpopular in high school and you like pretty popular things, or you weren't, and that was kind of something that you felt like you missed out on in high school, and you always wanted to marry one of the football players, the quarterbacks, or a student athlete, if you will, that allure has never escaped you, and you're fulfilling that high school fantasy. You also might just see more to people than meets the eye, and you're just a curious person. I think that if you are a man romancing Alex, you know, maybe you were gay who liked to turn straight boys in high school. Just kidding. That's mean. I can say that because I have gay friends. Just you maybe identify with that with Alex's story a little bit of coming to terms with dreams versus reality and expectations. Anyway, our next bachelor is Elliot. And according to Dev Update number 12, Elliot lives alone in a cabin and on the beach. I'm going to go a little bit seductive and sultry here because he's kind of like a mysterious writer. He's a writer who dreams of one day writing a magnificent novel. He's a sentimental romantic with a tendency to go off into flowery poetic tangents. When he can afford it, he enjoys a strong beverage at the saloon. Sorry. Could a humble farmer such as yourself be the inspiration Elliot is looking for? There's only one way to find out. Page from someone's diary about the quote older bachelors in town says this about Elliot. It says, Elliot is a bit foppish and melodramatic, but he does have a nice chin. He likes crab cakes and pomegranates. Real simple for Elliot there. Before we get into Elliot, I just want to say that there's also you can see the evolution of the art style. And I just want to ask a question to Concerned Ape because I know you're watching. Why did you get rid of Elliot's earring? Why did you get rid of that? It was so pirate coded. You know, Harry Styles has when he wears that one earring for the Met Gala. It's that feels so Elliot adjacent. So why'd you get rid of it? And it's just you just see his profile, Elliot's profile in his current picture too, which I guess points out his chin, which apparently is a good chin. I didn't have an opinion on it before reading that. So you would only see one ear. Bring the earring back. Or maybe he's wearing it on the other side that you can't see. That's going to be my headcanon, that he does still have the earring. It's just on the side that you can't see. So Elliot was also another one that I've never been super interested in my playthroughs. I never romanced him. I just found him kind of boring. Found him kind of boring in the sense that I went to an performing arts high school as well as a middle school for 1 year, and I majored in theater. So I have been around that type of writer, tortured artist. I just want to, live in a cabin in the woods and just write. I'm over it. I'm over it. Get a job. No, but obviously pursue your passions, but don't be annoying about it. Yeah, I just felt I don't know, anytime I interacted with him, I was kind of just why are you here? Are you even doing anything? And turns out he really wasn't. Turns out he doesn't really start writing until you start to progress in relationship with him and you inspire him. Which is cute. I love to be the inspiration, the muse. I've always wanted to be someone's muse. Elliot, what have you been doing? Do you have money? Are you okay? Are you paying your rent? I also don't understand why he doesn't like quartz. A lot of the people don't like quartz for some reason, and that makes me not like them because that's just a cleansing crystal, just an overall pretty basic crystal. And if I see that they don't like quartz, I kind of I feel there's a distance between us that I just can't bridge because it's it's just a rock, and it's a pretty rock, but I don't have anything else to say to that. Why don't you like the quartz? What did it do to you? You like Elliot. You probably do like the tortured artists. Not in an I can fix him type of way, because we'll get to that trope, right? We all know where that's going. Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, Wuthering Heights, that kind of romanticism genre. Because if you look at Elliot, he's got the long flowing locks, right? And he kind of his outfit kind of alludes to more formal traditional garb. And he's a writer and he's an artist and he lives by the beach. It's very, dare I say, maybe even Byronic. And so you might be really into the Byronic poet. Fine, that's okay for you. I would say love yourself. They will hurt you because they care more about their art than you. And that's a reality that you'll have to accept if you marry someone like that. But I feel there's nothing really more to say besides that. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have Harvey, our certified male wife. This is what the Dev Update number 12 says. It says, Harvey is the town doctor. He's a little old for a bachelor, but he has a kind heart and a respected position in the community. He lives in a small apartment above the medical clinic, but spends most of his time working. You can sense a sadness about him, as if there's something he's not telling you, which makes me love him more. And maybe that's a problem for me. Again, Secret Note 7 quotes that he is an older bachelor and says that Harvey is really anxious and weak, but I know he would make a loyal and devoted husband. He likes coffee and pickles. And obviously, this man is not an alpha male. He's not even an omega male. He is Sigma. He is Sigma negative Riz skibbity toy. Yes, his beach outfit is cursed. Why is he in a Speedo? He talks about protecting your skin. He would be wearing a swim shirt. He would be wearing a long sleeve swim shirt for sure. I'm glad that he has a mustache. We love that mustache and glasses. That is most of the men I've dated, unfortunately. He seems very lonely, and all he does is like spend time in his clinic and on the radio, and he listens to jazz music. And when you talk to him, he's like, I'm having a hard time making ends meet. I need more patients in the town. And it's like, then why did you become a doctor in this small ass village in the middle of nowhere? But also, like, you're passionate about making people healthy, but also that wasn't your dream because you wanted to be a pilot, but you're scared of heights. Like, I don't know. I just have a soft spot for Harvey. I feel like a lot of people do, especially bisexual women, because we love a pathetic man with a mustache. So if you like Harvey, you're probably a pathetic bisexual woman looking for a pathetic bisexual man. Not even a pathetic bisexual, because you might be a more dominant bisexual. I don't know your tea. Or like, I feel like some gay men also like Harvey because he's like just very sweet and kind of effeminate in a way where he is not like Alex, in the way where Alex is very overtly like, hey bro, grid ball. Harvey is kind of subverting those masculine expectations. He's caring, and that can be attractive. He really shines when you marry him. Like, you can tell that he is happy and you've changed him for the better. I have been changed for good. Wicked reference. You guys like Wicked? That was scary. That was a scary face I just made in the monitor. I don't think you're mentally ill if you like Harvey. I mean, you might be, but I feel like it's not like a keystone to being a Harvey stan per se, because he really is just a good husband. He just is a good husband, and he cares for you and he cooks for you and he just wants to make you happy. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. There's nothing wrong with wanting a healthy relationship. He might be my number one. We'll get to that. Next up is Sam. I have no interest in Sam. I'll just put that out there right now. I don't like his hair. That's personal. I don't think men should be blonde. What is that? I saw this one post. I was like, if you're a man, why are you blonde? Blonde is for girls. Your son looks like a girl! Dev note number 12 says, Sam is an outgoing, friendly guy who is brimming with youthful energy. Okay, young. This is also why I'm not into him. He reads like a teenager. I know he's probably not. Continuing here. He plays guitar and drums. He doesn't play the drums. They changed that. And wants to start a band with Sebastian as soon as he has enough songs together. However, he does have a habit of starting ambitious projects and not finishing them. Sam is a little stressed about the impending return of his father, who has been away for years due to his line of work. His dad's in the military. One thing I love about Sam is that he loves Tiger's Eye, and he has a summer birthday. So in my headcanon, he's a Leo, because Tiger's Eye is often associated with Leos. So that's my headcanon. And also he's a performer, so. Alas, like I said, he reads a little young. I think if you were a teenager playing this game, dare I say it, a bisexual female teenager playing this game, Sam or Sebastian would probably be your go-to, depending on what kind of bisexual you were. He works part-time at JojaMart, and he likes Joja Cola, so he's a little bit of a capitalist scum, but also at least he has a job, right? He just feels a little lost, and he has daddy issues, obviously, because his dad's in the military. I personally can't understand that, but maybe you do, and that's why you like him, and you can identify that with him. You can identify with him about that. Is that the better way to say that? And if you like Sam, you probably are just like a normal person. I feel like people who are like jaded and miserable don't like Sam. Jaded, miserable people either like people who are also jaded and miserable, or the exact opposite of them and are very happy and like secure. And Sam kind of falls somewhere in between that. So I feel like you're probably just like a normal person if you like Sam, who might just be like a little bit artsy, but not entirely, because I feel like really artsy people are more drawn to artsy people themselves, or again, the exact opposite. So I feel like you're probably just neutral about things. I don't know. I feel like people who romance Sam are just kind of neutral. I don't want to say NPCs because that feels mean, but is there like NPC non-derogatory? Like a fun NPC? Does that mean? I'm going to move on before I put my foot in my mouth anymore. Next up, we have Sebastian. Dev update number 12 says, Sebastian is a rebellious loner who lives in his parents' basement. He's Maru's older half-brother and feels like his sister gets all the attention and adoration, while he's left to rot in the dark. He tends to get deeply absorbed in computer games, comic books, and sci-fi novels, and will sometimes spend great lengths of time pursuing these hobbies alone in his room. He can be a bit unfriendly to people he doesn't know. Could a charming new farmer cultivate the wasteland of his heart? Could a charming new farmer cultivate the wasteland of his heart? So Sebastian is emo. He's also friends with Sam and Abigail. He doesn't have the greatest relationship with his stepdad, Demetrius. His mom is Robin, who's the carpenter in the game. And he feels like Maru, who is Demetrius's daughter and his half-sister. Yeah, so Maru is Robin and Demetrius's daughter, I guess. I don't know why I always thought they were step. but they're half siblings, you know, because Mario's like has a job and is smart. And Sebastian is like, not that he's not smart, but he just like doesn't really do much. You know, he kind of like sits in his room and plays video games and comic books. He's a nerdy, geeky emo kid, which like we love, we stan. Also, it's implied that he has a crush on Abigail. He dances with Abigail at the flower dance, which is like Sam dances with Penny and Ellie dances with Leah, which is like, you know, it's implied that they could maybe be into each other, but also they might just be friends. The flower dance is just like a fun thing that happens. But it's really implied that Abigail and Sebastian have a crush on each other. If you're married to Sam, he also implies that he would like to set them up together. So it's like that is kind of an undertone in there. So like, I don't know. I also always felt like that Sebastian and Abigail should be together, but I also married Abigail, so that's a different thing, and we'll get to that when we get to Abigail. Oh, Sebastian also rides motorcycles. Like when you get married to him, and there's like one of his heart scenes, I can't remember which one, you ride on a motorcycle with him, and when you marry him, he moves into your house and he fixes his motorcycle and like the little plot of land that they get outside. One thing I like about them is that he does have hobbies, and they're hobbies that I personally also enjoy, like comic books. I don't really like comic books. I don't know why I said that. I just lied to you. Video games and things like that, computer games. He's like a computer programmer. I think maybe he does have a job and I'm just lying, or I'm just being mean. But he appears to be a loser, but he's not, you know, he's sensitive, and sometimes he'll go by the lake and just like watch. And if you talk to him sometimes and you don't have a high relationship with him, he'll be like, what? I'm like, sorry, I'm like in my head right now, I didn't hear you. So obviously he's like brooding, but not like in a romantic way in the genre sense like Elliot is. He's brooding in the true emo My Chemical Romance, I was gonna say 9/11, which if you know the MCR lore, then you would know why 9/11 fits into that. But yeah, he's emo. If you like Sebastian, you're probably emo or alt adjacent. You probably are into nerdy things, and your Hinge matches are probably absolutely horrendous. And I would know that personally. You're also probably bisexual. I don't know. I feel like bisexual people just like Stardew Valley. So, I mean, if you're playing Stardew Valley, you're probably bisexual, but like, whatever. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that. I mean, you're probably just gay and sad. All right, and then our last bachelor is Shane. Womp womp. I'm just kidding. I married him in my first playthrough ever, because of course I did, because I can fix him. We all can fix him. And if you like Shane, you want to fix people. You are probably the eldest daughter, and you have a bad relationship with your dad, who is probably also an alcoholic. I'm not speaking from experience here, but you feel like you can fix him. And I feel like I shouldn't have to say that because we all know, but I will say it for the sake of the video. He actually doesn't have a description for the dev update number 12 because he wasn't originally a romance character. If I'm remembering correctly, there was a poll that Concerned Ape did about some of the NPCs that I think was for the 1.1 update. Let me check my notes. He was added as a marriage candidate in 1.1, the update. So I believe that after the game was first released, Concerned Ape made a poll about which NPCs people would want to be added, which 2 NPCs I think people wanted as a marriage candidate, and those people were Shane and Emily that ended up happening from that poll. So Shane originally wasn't a marriage candidate, but then he became one. And aren't we so glad that he did? So the wiki takes a line that he says as his description, which says, quote, I'm renting my room from Marnie at a really good price. It's small, but I can't complain. If I could reset my life, maybe I'd start a chicken farm. Only free range eggs, of course. Which is like, that's also why people like Shane, is because you can tell that he has a sensitive side. He loves chickens. Yeah, so you can tell he's sweet. He just has a lot going on. He just is an alcoholic. And like his relationship scenes are like crazy. Like when you find him passed out, you're just like, oh God, okay. I can fix him. Right. He's also considered one of the older bachelors, which like in my headcanon, the older bachelors, Harvey's like mid-30s, Elliot's probably like 28, maybe 30, and Shane I feel like is over the age of 25, but I don't feel like Shane's 30 yet, but maybe he is. But the secret note number 7 says that Shane is messy and antisocial, but I think his gruff exterior is a defense mechanism, insulating his softness from the world. He likes beer, pizza, and pepper poppers. I just think it's funny that a lot of his loves and likes are just things that you can buy at the saloon. That's why he's also one of the easiest people to romance, He's always at the saloon after work because he works at JojaMart. And again, at least he has a job. Okay, maybe he's miserable, but he's working. He'll always stand right next to the counter at the saloon. So you can literally just go buy something from Gus and then hand it to him. And that's like it. And he'll probably like it. You can almost everything at the saloon he likes. He's easy. Shane is easy and he'll put out for anyone. Yeah, but I feel like there's already been enough said about Shane. He genuinely could help on the farm too. Like that's why he's also like objectively a good option for the player, because he raises chickens and it just makes sense that since he lives with Marnie that he could help out with the farm, and that makes him a good marriage candidate. So you're also maybe a little practical too, which I feel like most eldest daughters are. So, but again, I can't relate to that. Just kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. So those were all the bachelors. If I were to rank the bachelors, I would have to put Harvey as number 1. Unfortunately, I would put Shane as number 2, personally. And then I would probably, after that, I know I said I don't like Elliot, but I think because he's older and artistic, and I do think that he has some interesting scenes, I would put Elliot, and then I would put Sebastian, Alex, Sam. Sorry, Sam lovers. I just can't relate. I don't understand. Please let me know why you like Sam in the comments below. Let's move on to the girlies. Number 1 is Abigail. Abigail is one that obviously I have married before because I'm bisexual, and bisexuals love other bisexuals. We can just feel it. We identify with each other, and Abigail is obviously bisexual. It's also implied that she has a crush on Sebastian. So this is what the dev update number 12 says about her. It says Abigail lives at the general store with her parents. She sometimes fights with her mom, who worries about Abigail's alternative lifestyle. Her mom has the following to say, quote, "I wish Abby would dress more appropriately and stop dyeing her hair blue." She had blue hair at the time of this, but now she has purple. She has such a wonderful natural hair color, just like her grandmother did. Oh, and I wish she'd find some wholesome interests instead of this occult nonsense she's into, end quote. You might find Abigail alone in the graveyard or maybe out in a rainstorm looking for frogs. She also has a fall birthday. She loves fall. She's super ooky spooky, megala ooky.
Spooky, ooky, kooky, and creepy.
I mean, she's just a bisexual girl living her best life. It's also theorized that her dad is not actually Pierre and it's the wizard, which I think true. If you like look deeper into the relationship between Caroline and Pierre, Caroline's her mom, Pierre is her dad. Caroline has green hair. It's like, why are you commenting on Abigail's hair color? Why is your hair green? You find out basically that Caroline was much similar to Abigail before she settled down. And so at first I romanced Abigail. I think she might have been my first or second playthrough. I know I just said Shane was probably my first, but honestly, I can't remember. I do think it was Abigail. But like the more you learn about Abigail, I don't think Abigail should be marrying anyone. She kind of wants to live like this independent life, and she's young. She talks about homework, so she's probably still in college because it's also mentioned that she has graduated, so she's not in high school. So she's probably in college if she has homework still. So she's probably under the age of 23. So she's young. So I don't personally want to romance her anymore. I did romance her when I was still in college, so it made sense. I was also still finding myself. So maybe you relate to that. Yeah, she has purple hair. She likes crystals. She loves amethyst, quartz, whatever. She plays the flute. I also played the flute. She also plays the drums for Sam and Sebastian's band. She's literally just every bisexual girl. Now, personally, I can't romance her anymore also because she reminds me of myself. I had purple hair, put it on the screen. I played the flute for 5 years, 3 into occult things and likes crystals. I'm staring at my collection of crystals right now. So I'm just Abigail. If your boy romances Abigail, you probably just like bisexual alternative women and you probably want them to step on you. If you're a woman who is romancing Abigail, you're probably bisexual or you're probably into the same things that she is, which is like most gay people are. Another pretty popular marriage candidate that I also feel like, just makes sense. Next up, we have Emily, who was also added with the 1.1 update with Shane. The Emily line that's used as her description on the wiki is, quote, "I'm just working at Gus's to make ends meet, but my real passion is tailoring. I made these clothes from scratch." I mean, Emily's just fun, quirky, and cool. Like she has a couple of hard events that like has nothing to do with the player. She's very like out there and fun, and she has blue hair. She's just like not like other girls, but not like in a way where people who say they're not like other girls and they're just like other girls. Like Emily's truly not like other girls. Like she's on a different planet. She doesn't like fish, so which is like the only meat in the game that you can really eat. So it's kind of implied that she's also a vegetarian. She's also sisters with Haley, who's like the exact opposite. So sometimes I'm like, am I Emily because I had blue hair too? Put the picture up. And I like crystals, and my sister is younger than me and blonde and was popular in high school. So am I just Emily, and that's why I like her? If you are a man who likes Emily, I want you to stay far away from her because I feel like you're probably just like Clint. I feel like Clint is a stand-in for all the guys who would like Emily. I'm staring directly in the camera. Stay away from her. She doesn't like you. She's just nice to you, okay? Stay away. And if you're not a man and you like Emily, I'm like, that just makes sense because she's so secure in herself. And she has a job, but she also has this passion that she's following. She'll make you clothes. And she rescued that parrot. She didn't have to do that. And she's like, you're just like me. She's not like other girls in the truest sense of that. That's really what makes her attractive because she's so unique and wonderful and kind and lovely. And it just makes sense that you would like her. But if you're a man, stay away, okay? And if that hurts you, maybe do some self-reflection and go to therapy. Next up is Emily's sister, Haley. Dev update number 12 says this about her. It says, being wealthy and popular throughout high school has made Haley a little conceited and self-centered. She has a tendency to judge people for superficial reasons, but is it too late for her to discover a deeper meaning to life? Is there a fun, open-minded young woman hidden within that candy-coated shell? Haley also has a hobby that is photography. She loves cake, the pink cake specifically, fruit salad, sunflower, coconut. She's just like very fun, beach vibes, summer vibes. Yes, girl, very visco-coated. A lot of people have been putting her as the face to Chappell Roan's Good Luck Babe song, which I love because it's kind of implied that her and Alex are in a situationship, but I like the idea that she's a lesbian. I do. I think that's the only way to redeem her as a character. She's a little mean, so maybe if you like Haley, you like girls that are mean to you, which is fine. Most of us do. And she's obviously pretty. I feel like if you're a guy and you like Haley, you're just boring. It's like obviously you would pick the pretty blonde hot girl, and maybe that's my personal issues coming out, but it's like, well, duh, of course you would. That just makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, if you're a man and you like Haley, I'm just like over you. Like, go find something else to do while you're playing the game. People are allowed to like things. We're just all having fun here, right? Anyway, I feel like she's for the girls, and if you're not a girl, stay away. Next is Leah. The dev update number 12 says that Leah lives alone in a small cabin just outside of town. She loves to spend time outside, foraging for a wild meal, or simply enjoying the gifts of the season. She's a talented artist with a large portfolio of work, yet she's too nervous to display it to the public. Maybe you can give her a little confidence boost. So Leah's super sweet. I at first didn't really understand what Leah was about, and then I kind of like started talking to her more, and then I watched Fiona Sangster's video and was also like, oh, she's kind of cool. She's also like low-key confirmed bisexual, kind of. Leah specifically has some dialogue where if you romance her as a girl, where you can like try to kiss her or something, and then Leah goes, you're ... too. And it's like, she doesn't say a specific label because that's very much, they want the player to identify with Leah, I guess, in that moment, where it's like whatever label you identify with or you would think Leah would identify with, it's a way, I guess, for the player to engage in a conversation with the game in a way that they couldn't if you just, I guess, slapped a label on her. And also maybe Leah doesn't know what she is yet, which is also fine, and that's also a way to interpret that. So there's that. And then also her ex shows up in the game, whose name is Kel, and Kel can be either a boy or a girl. If you're a boy and you're dating Leah, Kel is a boy. If you're a girl and you're dating Leah, Kel is a girl. However, with the context of that line that Leah says, if you're a girl, you could think that Kel could be a boy or a girl, because Leah doesn't really confirm or deny it until Kel shows up, right? Because then you see what Kel's gender is. It's up for interpretation, obviously. She does a lot of sculpting, which feels very sapphic. Yeah, so in my headcanon, Leah's a lesbian. Now she lives in nature, she likes to forage. It's just very sapphic coded. She's for the girls. If you're a man and you like Leah, again, stay away. She's not for you. She lives in the woods, she's a free spirit, and then you want to marry her as a man? Why do you want to own this woman and pin her down like that? But if a woman likes her, it's like, of course you would. She's a lesbian. Yeah, maybe that's just in my head. Again, another one that I identify with. That's why it's hard for me to romance a lot of the girls, the bachelorettes, if you will, because I'm like, oh, that's just me in a different font. Like Abigail, Emily, and Leah are all just me in different fonts, different codes, literally different codes, because it's games. Next we have Maru. The dev update number 12 says that growing up with a carpenter and a scientist for parents, Maru acquired a passion for creating gadgets at a young age. When she isn't in her room fiddling with tools and machinery, she sometimes does odd jobs at the local clinic. Friendly, outgoing, and ambitious, Mara would be quite a lucky match for a lowly newcomer such as yourself. Can you win her heart, or will she slip through your fingers and disappear from your life forever? So deep, so dark. Yeah, Mara's really sweet. She does work part-time at the clinics with Harvey. It's also kind of implied that Harvey might be interested in her because like at the flower dance, they dance together, but also sometimes dancing at the flower dance doesn't really mean anything. It's just a tradition and they just happen to know each other, and we know that Harvey's lonely and Maru's also kind of lonely. I mean, she's friends with Penny, which makes a lot of sense. I love them as a friendship together, and honestly, I wish they were just a gay couple, but whatever. Harvey and Maru is standing next to each other at the flower dance. Harvey says that he's working up the courage to ask someone to dance, and then he dances with Maru, so it's kind of implied. But it also could just be anxiety. They work together, it makes sense. They don't really have any other friends. Maru also wishes that her and Sebastian were closer, because obviously Sebastian has, I don't want to say negative feelings towards her, but it's just like, you know, when you're siblings and you can obviously tell that your parents favor one of the siblings, even though they say that they don't, but they treat them differently than you. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of resentment, even though you feel guilty about that resentment because they're your sibling and you love them. Again, not speaking from experience. Like Maru's just really nice and sweet. Like I feel like she, again, is just like one that makes sense. I mean, she's just a cat. She's smart. She has a part-time job, but she also is very inventive, and she will literally like make you things to give to you to help better the farm. She just has a bright future ahead of her. Yeah, I mean, if you like Maru, you probably just like maybe nerdy adjacent girls, but also just like, I mean, that's just a good person to like all around. Maru just, again, makes sense. There's sometimes where I'm like, well, I mean, anyone would romance that character because they're cute and they are kind and they like things that they like and they don't apologize for it. Like they're just an all-around good person, and it's like, well, duh, of course you would like that person because they're cool. I don't know, I feel like there's not much to say. I mean, you probably are a little nerdy and geeky yourself, but like, I don't know, I feel like you're probably just a good person if you like Maru. If you don't like Maru, then I'm concerned because it's like, what did she do to you? And if you're like, well, I'm Team Sebastian, there's not teams here. Sebastian is holding resentment towards his sibling, but like that has more to do with him and his relationship with his stepdad than it does with Maru. Maru's just living her life, and it's not like she hates Sebastian. Okay, if you hate Maru, I want to punch you in the face. Got it? All right, and then we're on to our last one, which is Penny. So it says dev update number 12 for Penny is Penny lives with her mom Pam in a little trailer by the river. While Pam is out carousing at the saloon, Penny quietly tends to her chores in the dim, stuffy room she's forced to call home. She is shy and modest, without any grand ambitions for life other than settling in and starting a family. She likes to cook, although her skills are questionable, and read books from the local library. She also tutors Vincent and Jazz and Leo when he moves there. I think it's also said that she works part-time at the museum, but I don't know if that's true. I might be making that up. Penny's very sweet. She's very quiet. She comes off as very shy, bookwormy. I feel like she's kind of like girl version of I Can Fix Her, in the way that like Shane is an alcoholic and like girls want to fix him. I feel like guys want to fix Penny because she feels very much like that. She doesn't wear glasses, right? But she feels like the trope where it's like a girl that is not pretty until she takes her glasses off, and then suddenly you see how beautiful she is because she was so shy and she was hiding it. That's what Penny feels like to me. It's also like implied that Pam, her mom, is an alcoholic and maybe abusive, but not like, I mean, I might just be making that up. There's a lot of alcoholics in this game. Concern 8, why? Why'd you program alcoholics in your game? Are you okay? But yeah, I mean, Penny's very sweet. I always thought she had a bun in her hair, but when you look at her other sprites, it's not that. Maybe if people didn't think that, maybe I'm just an idiot, and that is also true. All she wants to do is start a family, probably to fix her home life that doesn't feel super great. And again, another I can fix her type thing, but she doesn't need to be fixing. Shane arguably needs fixing. Penny doesn't really need fixing. She's just in an unfortunate circumstance, like living in a trailer with her mom, but like that's not like of her own volition or doing. It's not like she's drinking. She just happens to be with an alcoholic, and that's not her fault. So she doesn't need fixing. And if you want to fix her, I'm like, no. So in that sense, if you're a boy and you like Penny, I want you to stay away. But apparently I don't want men to be playing this game. I don't want straight men to be playing this game. She really just wants to be a housewife, and she wants a family life, which is okay. You know, that's not something that I'm into, and so I can't identify with that. But maybe you do, and that's why you like Penny, because she does express that she would like to have a family. She obviously likes children since she tutors the kids. She's smart since she can tutor. Just, quiet life with a wife, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you might not want anything more, and that's okay. Family might be important to you, and that is amazing. Maybe you also identify with Penny's story, living in a trailer with an alcoholic parent. And maybe you can identify with that and you want to help her. But I don't know you. I don't know your story. So if I were to rank the bachelorettes, I would put them all number one, first of all. But I would probably go, I think Emily would have to be my number one. I do. And then I think just out of bias, I would have to put Abigail after that. I also think most people would probably put Abigail up there as well. I think after that, I would probably put Leah, and then I would put Haley, and then I would put Maru, and then Penny. Not just because I know I talk good things about Maru and Penny, and so then it's like, why wouldn't you put them up higher? I have mental issues. And so when there is a good, honest match for me, I will not go for it. So that is the end of this video. I guess this is psychoanalyzing your Stardew Valley romances, or that was. It was also roasting and ranking them. We'll see what I title this video. You're at the end, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Oops, showed some leg. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see me do a Stardew Valley playthrough on the channel, let me know. I would love to. Like I said, I've been hyper fixating on it lately, so I would love any excuse to play it. Let me know who your favorite bachelor or bachelorette in Stardew Valley is in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.